The Kuala Lumpur International Motor Show is back in Malaysia once again, and there's loads of new models, new technologies and all sorts of fun stuff to see here today. If you're watching this from outside Malaysia, welcome to our video and stay on, you might just find something relevant to your market. Anyways, I'm Sanjay, this is Bit Auto, let's lock in and let's go KLIMS! Let's go. The layout of KLIMS this year is bigger than the last time it was here. In fact, there are more brands, 18 this year above 14 in 2024. However, this also signals where the market is heading. There's a great mix of brands this year with your local players, Proton and Produa, having big displays, as well as popular KLIMS mainstays like Honda, Nissan, Toyota and Mazda staying on. For example, Mitsubishi is not here this year and nor are any European brands, but the Koreans are coming in strong with Kia and Hyundai both having grand reveals. Such are the tides today, the Chinese brands are the most dominant in KLIMS this year. 9 of them are present, bringing stuff they already are selling, new launches as well as future products. In 2018, there were none of them. The signals this year are very clear. Powertrains beyond BEVs are now back in the focus, Boxy SUVs are the new trend and the Koreans are coming back quite strongly. While BEVs maintain a strong presence at this year's KLIMS, hybrids have come back to the fore. Almost every single booth had hybrids on offer, including mild hybrids. In fact, the list of brands that showcased BEVs this year was slightly shorter than 2 years ago. Back then, in 2024 actually, there were 11 key BEV launches, previews, including concepts. This year, there were only 7. Notably, hybrids were the show's heaviest hitters. For example, this Honda Prelude, launched here at 278,000 ringgit, is among the show's biggest hits. Then there's also Zeekr, positioned as a premium BEV brand. They have their 9X on display. Well, this is a PHEV with an engine.
Jetour did the same thing with the T2 PHEV, and TQ Wuling showcased the Huawei co-developed Huajing S. But while these are previews of future models and at the relatively higher end of the price scale, it's clear that hybrids are becoming more and more popular among the mass market category.
Even Proton is promising a hybrid future with the display of their future Motion HEV. And word on the street is, it could also trickle down to its current bread and butter models. Toyota, GWM, MG and Nissan all had heavyweight hybrid offerings on display this year. However, I want to point out one thing. The all-new X-Trail is finally in Malaysia and admittedly a little bit late than usual, but it could still be a hit if priced right.
On a broader, policy-driven view, having more hybrids is also good. Brands then have a safe way to skirt around MITEC's new policies for imported BEVs.
Moving on beyond powertrains, let's talk about body styles. SUVs are, like it or not, here to stay, and if you ask brands about this won't change in the near future. To add to that, boxy SUVs are a trend these days. GWM are one of the pioneers in this space in Malaysia, and they have found sales of the tank trend to be really encouraging to introduce a hybrid variant. They're also showing off the new H7 Hi4 PHEV. You can also add Jetour to the list who are previewing the G700 PHEV SUV to complement the T1 and T2 down the line. Oh, and by the way, this here says new driver on the road, while on the right side it says please take care of me. It's a bit funny coming from a car this big, right? The reasons why isn't that hard to decipher. How many of us dreamt of G-Wagons and Defenders growing up? For the most part, those are expensive cars and remain so today. Chinese boxy SUVs kinda democratized that look to the market. Add the fact that they are a versatile shape that offers high ground clearance and more space for stuff than coupe SUVs could ever do. On a broader scale, this also shows that Chinese brands are very much on the pulse and their razor-sharp supply chain benefits them immensely. Interest in their models in general, not just boxy SUVs, remain very strong, and it's hope that they continue to back it up with strong product support and after-sales down the line. And then there's this comeback story. You and I both know that the Koreans didn't really have a good time in Malaysia for a while. For a while they were up and then they were down, but over the last few years, it hasn't been quite kind to them. GPG's data shows that Kia and Hyundai's last sales peak in Malaysia was around 2004, before they went on a steady decline down. Came back up again in 2010 and 2014, but never to the same levels as 20 years ago. It wasn't that the cars that they offered back then were bad. They were okay, and people still find them to be used market bargains, but they were hamstrung by poor product positioning. As global priorities shifted, cars that could rival Japanese cars in Malaysia eventually dried up, and for a period of time, you couldn't buy a Korean car below 100,000 ringgit in Malaysia. Just a few years ago, Kia was selling the Niro for 260,000 ringgit in Malaysia. As a BEV, it's okay, but at that price, it wasn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. Other than that, the next cheapest Kia at that time was the Carnival. But while it's a great car, not everyone needs an 8 or 11-seater. This can be a 20-minute video on its own, but long story short, Kia and Hyundai's new HQ-led decisions will stand to benefit Malaysians the most. Already, we are seeing some promise with the Kia Sportage beginning from under 130,000 ringgit. There's also the EV4 and EV5 displayed at KLIMS to show a broader appeal to BEVs. One more thing, however, is that mild hybrid K4. Ooh! Come here with a good price, okay? Same goes to Hyundai, which are aiming to be a little bit more upmarket. Fair play to them, and I'm sure the end series of cars have their interests, but I also like they bring in the Stargaze over here because it shows they're also thinking of the mass market segment. How the market responds will be telling, but it's still too early to see. However, you can't fault them for trying. Fall 7 times, get up 8, you get the gist.
To recap, KLIMS this year showcases a more mature way of thinking. Concepts are nice to look at, and shout out to Perdua for showing off the super cool C2, but there's a lot of grounded thinking as well. Sentiments for hybrids are becoming more and more accepted, and brands are noticing.
Fans of Korean brands will have plenty to look forward to as these brands stage a comeback. Hyundai and Kia coming back to Malaysian market stronger means more competition, and that's always good for the local buyer. Anyways, this has been our KLIMS roundup and analysis. Let us know in the comments below, what do you think that you wish they brought, or things that you liked about KLIMS this year. And thank you so much for watching our video and supporting BitAuto Malaysia this early on. Stay with us and we'll see each other more as we bring you the latest and greatest of automotive world in Malaysia and beyond. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.